Well, of course, they would definitely have to recompensate Yemen and the Yemeni people for the destruction and the mayhem that they have caused. And Saudi Arabia, they're very insidious because actually, with the latest series of negotiations, they're actually trying to get Ansar Allah, the Sana'a government, to agree to a deal that would shift the blame from Saudi Arabia to the Hadi government. So essentially, Saudi Arabia is trying to insidiously establish a deal whereby Ansar Allah or the Sana'a government would acknowledge that Saudi Arabia had nothing to do with the mayhem and destruction in Yemen, and it would basically vindicate Saudi Arabia of any wrongdoings. That's not going to happen, according to the Sana'a government. And in fact, Ansar Allah, they don't even pay attention to the Hadi government. They don't even consider them to be a force in this conflict. They believe that this is a conflict between Yemen and Saudi Arabia, which is exactly what it is. The Hadi government they're only operating in one or two provinces. They've lost the battle on the ground across the board. Hadi, quote unquote, President Hadi has absolutely no say so on any matters that happen in Yemen, and he's basically just standing or sitting in a hotel somewhere in Saudi Arabia. So yes, the conflict is between Yemen and Saudi Arabia. The Saudi crown prince and the Saudi king need to be held accountable, and the Sana'a government is not going to compromise or sign any deal that would see otherwise. It's negotiations is one thing, but when you continue to bomb people indiscriminately across, in almost in every single province in Yemen, it's really going to be hard to sell this pitch that you want peace and you want to establish a ceasefire in Ramadan. As we've seen in every single year, during Ramadan, there's a ceasefire that is established, and Saudi Arabia violates that agreement a day or two later. So, I don't see why we should expect anything different. This Ramadan, all ceasefires have failed to bring an end to the hostilities being committed by Saudi Arabia. They failed to lift the strangling blockade on the Yemeni people, who have essentially been starving to death and suffering in all types of pernicious manners that the Ukrainian people will never have to endure. However, mainstream media seems to be focusing all the limelight into what is happening in Ukraine. However, if there's just double standard, really. If the U.S. and mainstream media is supporting the struggles of the Ukrainian people, and they're putting it under the pretext of people defending their land, why is it that they have a problem with the Yemeni people defending their land? Are the Yemeni people, do they not deserve that right to defend their land, to say no to foreign aggression? Why is it that it is only the Europeans or the blue-eyed, blonde-haired people who are given such support from world powers? Why are their concerns and their struggles taken into consideration while the people of Yemen are ignored? And on top of that, you continue to fund Saudi Arabia, you continue to support them militarily, you continue to engage with them in intelligence operations. Not only that, but you're also surrounding the country with military bases. This is something that a lot of people don't know, but there's a plan right now being orchestrated by NATO-like forces to surround Yemen with military bases, so that in a situation where the Houthis or Ansar Allah takes over the country entirely, they would still be able to wage military airstrikes and essentially subjugate Yemen to a Gaza-like siege, whereby it's surrounded by military bases and susceptible to attacks from all four corners.